same kind of professional settings where you have control, aperture priority, shutter priority. Remember the 10 photographic principles you're shooting. I'd hang out in aperture priority for now, for all of them except for the motion shots. When you're trying to freeze or blur motion, I'd switch over to shutter priority. So look at it right now, see how dark it is? And as I spin this dial, it's getting brighter. And now it's too bright. So you always want it at 0. Okay? And if you're in manual focus, you switch this over to manual, and now you're going to be focusing here.
All right.
This camera's kind of cool in that when you're in manual focus, it's actually going to try to cheat for you. So even though, let's for instance, over here, say shutter speed over there, and we're a decent distance away from that, the second I go to touch focus, it immediately jumps in so that I can see the area that I want to get in focus. So this is really great for your medium and deep depth of field shots. And when I let go of it, it snaps back to the composition I wanted. So that's an added function inside that's helping you like ensure that your picture's in focus. Yeah, the entire course is project-based learning because everything that the students are producing is portfolio piece or their own films. So our students are going to move earlier in the year. They started with understanding 10 central photographic principles. They looked online to find examples of ones that we covered in class in a traditional lecture style format. That was very interactive for them to see imagery and examples of what successful photography looks like. Yeah, today's project, the photo scavenger hunt, they had 2 class periods to investigate online and work in teams, and then get checked out by myself or any of my student assistant teachers to ensure that they understood the principles. And then they had 3 class periods to shoot their own.
Well, there'd be a lot of sunlight coming through, but I guess we could. It would work for the soft lighting. That's true. Oh, we could do the hard lighting in the drama studio. There's all that light in there. That's true.
We can have you/me sitting on the chair.
That'd be really cool. Let's set it up.
Yeah, we can set it up and just have it like right here so you can't see like any of this.
Okay, that'd be good.
You know, what project is this?
Right now we're working on shooting pictures with different components of photography, so like different lighting, different focuses, things like that. So we have to have 10 pictures and each has to have a different photography component.
So project is how long it's gonna be, you know, giving them, you know, teacher give you your time?
We started on Monday, and I think we're gonna have until next week. And we have this class 2 times a week. Do you want to do soft light or hard light first?
We can do soft light first.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's hard light.
Let's see. Yeah.
Do you want to take a picture of me?
I like to be the subject.
All right, cool. Because I don't.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean all of them have to be.
Yeah.
Like, if you took the shadows away.
Where do you?
Hard lighting. Okay, no, we're good. That's extreme lighting.
Where do you see the shadows? Like on my face.
They're like coming from your face, but it's good now.
So, go back to the.
It's still blurry.
How's that?
It's the shutter speed.
Do you need to change it again?
Yeah. Can we go to Mr. Herman? Because I just want to figure out where the shutter speed is. There it is. Oh, Mr. Herman. We're having trouble figuring out the shutter speed because it's really, really sensitive. Like all the pictures are blurry. And I can tell that when I take the shot, it goes super slowly.
Right, so you're at like a super, super tiny opening for a deep depth of field. And if you remember on our cheat sheet, A small opening means a very long exposure. So right now, you're at a half a second. So it's definitely going to be blurry.
Oh, I was thinking the opposite. I was
So,
trying to figure it out.
unfortunately, sometimes when you look at resources online, they switch them. They show the inverse relationship. I'm trying to show you that small opening, longer exposure. Big opening, faster exposure. So for you to be at a deep depth of field scenario, or you're trying to get motion blur, you're going to end up dealing with a very slow shutter speed.
It sounds like the traditional 3-light setup.
What if you put the red light on this side? Oh. It like flickers on and off. I think try tightening the bulb.
But it's hot.
The bulb.
Well, what are you trying to do?
We were trying to get soft lighting, which is why but we don't have like the 3-light setup. So we can't like eliminate the shadow from behind, which is our problem because we're trying to get it soft, which is no shadow.
Right. So you can move your subject away from the surface, and that should take away the shadow. Add another light or use the reflector to try to get that light to bounce in and fill in those shadows. Right. So it's a combination. It's a little bit of the dance of positioning of the light, power of the light to the subject, distance from the background, how far away is the camera, how close are you to the subject. I mean, you're gonna have to get some happy medium after you do some trial and error.
Yeah.
There were some other lights that were like that are on the corner. And you can keep it, and if you remember the piece of paper that there it is. So let the computer do half lifting. And our work actually transcends into the other coursework. So our students are able to present their learning and their subjects through visual media, and this is developing the skills so they can do that in their math class, in science, in history, in physical education. Media literacy and media production is something that's very much ingrained in the culture of our school. They're fully engaged, and we see that happening in all our classes. So it's not just because they get to play with the camera and they get to have fun in photography. You know, this was the case in history because they have a buy-in point. They get an opportunity to really have a say in what's going on in the back end of the project, and they get to make a decision about how they're going to present their learning. And that revolutionizes everything.
So today I taught both 9th grade biochem and 10th grade biochem. In 10th grade, we're learning about catalysts and enzymes, and they're actually doing a project. So they have to create a video on one of the concepts that we learned. So each table had a different concept. So one of the labs we did in class was a lactose and lactase lab. So they're going to be kind of explaining what we did in the lab in a video format, and then in a few days they will be presenting that video to the entire class.
Say cheese, Wes.
I can't say cheese. I'm lactose intolerant.
No, silly. When you're lactose intolerant, it means you can't eat cheese.
Oh, I remember that. We studied that in biochem.
Remember in Miss Tessa's class, we did an experiment about lactose and lactase?
Yeah, what about it? Oh, wait.
Well,
Oh, wait, no, that's switched. Okay.
that's what you said. but that's what they wrote, so.
For like the first scene, you can have the drawing of the experiment being done, and the next scene could be you guys taking a selfie. or something.
But are we supposed to
And
So
then
it's
draw
like,
that or
okay.
their reaction of the chemicals? That is what I'm confused about.
we can ask her.
Yeah. Tessa, when we draw the storyboard, right? Will we need to, we will draw ourselves. So in the beginning, we're going to start off talking to each other and those kind of things. And do I draw that or do I draw the chemical reaction of the
Whatever. You can draw like yourself as stick figures if it's just you talking.
Yeah, we're just starting
Yeah.
the thing of the video.
So the first one,
Yeah,
the first
that's
box,
fine.
because we're supposed to draw each scene. So like just for the first box, draw the experiment. Second box, draw you guys like talking of like taking a selfie or something. Or you could either take a picture of you guys. Take a picture. Draw like you guys like walking and talking, and then the second thing could be all of us taking a selfie, and then the last one could be me and Nate talking. That one is that fine.
Alright, I'm gonna work on my line.
You guys are doing great. Keep on with that. Thank you. This is like a TV show thing. I like
That's
it.
way too
If like we can find other different like assignments that we did on here to write that. And
Our bio project is designing an enzyme or some type of project about an enzyme. So my group decided to do a video with some art and a voiceover, like pretty much a little film and a little artistic creativity all in one, which is really cool. So I think the project-based learning style here opens up a whole nother world. You're able to show your creativity, you're able to show how you can speak. I'm not the best at art, but I'm really good at speaking at times. So I was able to do a project with like a public speaking event and write a speech and just record myself with the speech, which middle schools and most high schools don't allow you to do, which is really cool and different. And SLA allows you to show your creativity and show your strengths.
Absolutely. They can do whatever they want as long as it's a video. I give them a lot of creativity, a lot of freedom to produce whatever they want. I do have a rubric with certain things that they have to include. So, for example, the video has to be 2 to 5 minutes long. Another example is every person must be seen or heard in the video. So if they want to do an animation, they can do a voiceover, but then every person has to speak in that video. So it gives them a lot of freedom and creativity to do what they would like, but then we still kind of end up with the same kind of format to present on Monday.
So one thing a lot of people get confused about us, like we do still take assessments at times. And we are prepared, just like any other school, to take an assessment. Just because we're project-based doesn't mean we're not prepared to take SATs and standardized testing. A lot of our students go to major universities and colleges, and we prepared them to go there.
Oh, we still have the state test here we have to worry about. You just have to understand that doing project-based learning doesn't mean you don't get the same information. You just get it in a different way. Like in math class, they'll still have days where they have to learn how to do different equations. It's not, the teacher's not handing you a box and saying create. They're still facilitating, they're still teaching you. So I see them still doing fine on the test. I say to other people, the best way to do well on the test is to not care about the not think about the test, not obsess about it.
So my project is me and my friend Miles are making a solar panel. We have to put together different solar cells to make one larger panel, and then we have to make a charge controller to control the amount of energy going from the solar panel into whatever we're charging. There's a night here where you can pitch your idea for your project to the school, and then you can ask for money if you need money from the school. And so once we do that, we can order our solar cells that we need. I think it's, at least with the capstone, I think it's really helpful because you get to choose like a topic that you are interested in. And for me, if I'm interested in something, I'm gonna put a lot more effort into it. And so I want to go into engineering, and so being able to learn more about that is helpful.
I think that project-based learning, it actually makes you want to learn things about the subject you're learning. And traditional teaching methods, it's more like you have to memorize this so that you can get that A on the test and then you're good and then you can just forget it. But with project-based learning, it's more ingrained into your mind, into how you learn, and you can more apply that to how you take that with a stride into how you deal with it in the next life. And I feel like project-based learning really helps people to understand a topic more broadly instead of just memorizing the facts that they're given. I feel like every kid has that creative side to them that they want to be able to share with people, that they want to be able to share with their teachers and be like, hey, I might not be that great at this, but my drawing skills though, I can really interpret that and I can really show you what I can do to get that in. I feel like for anyone, it doesn't really matter what part or country or wherever you're from, that it really helps to be able to express yourself in a way that allows you to learn and allows you to still be able to get something out of the classroom.
I think the differentiated instruction is very important. I think the problem-solving aspect of problem-based learning can't be emphasized enough. I think the engagement that you get with children, big and bigger, small and big, is very important because if we can get the hearts of our children, if we can get them engaged, they'll keep learning, and we want them to become learners, right? We want them to become active, lifelong learners. So if they get excited and see that this is a process that they want to do for the rest of their lives, and we give them the tools to do that, that's a very important step forward.